cannot play in the Champions League with that eye line. I'm sorry. When you play against good teams, you're going to get exposed. And that's exactly what happened tonight. Any run, well-timed run, you go through and goal every single time. We mentioned it. They don't want to change it. And I understand sometimes coaches can be stubborn with how they go with the game. But it can be costly in big games.
Henry attacks Hansi Flick after his loss to Paris. You'll never win the Champions League. He pointed to Harry Kane's goal against Barca last year, almost identical to Gonçalo Ramos' strike. Both started offside on purpose, then as the switch came to the winger, they were suddenly onside and free to score. With that high-line defense, one perfectly timed run against it, and your defense is dead. So is Henry right?
Só quero-vos pedir uma coisa, é maior responsabilidade, seriedade e deixamos uma boa imagem para todos lá em casa e para as nossas famílias. Agarrem-se uns aos outros. É a primeira ronda, não desvalorizem o adversário. Vamos focar em nós, no coletivo e fazer um bom jogo, está bem, capaz? Bora, bora!
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the center back position for Hansi Flick's FC Barcelona. One of the things that we have seen that is a clear weakness in this squad is we have multiple center backs like Cubarsí, Christensen, Araujo, even Eric Garcia, but we don't have the ideal profile to really get the best out of our defensive backline. And this is the reason why we're going to be talking about two center backs. One of them is going to be about who Deco has been eyeing in the past 2 weeks, and the other player that we're going to be talking about is a center back that I do recommend personally. So let's get started. Let's talk about Goncalo Oliveira, who is the center back that Deco is eyeing. It has been said that Deco has met with the agent and also with the player's entourage to see if a deal can be done with the club. He is a 19-year-old center back who's 5'11" in height, does play for Benfica, and has a contract until 2029. His current status does split between Benfica B and also the senior squad, so he does swap into different teams. Very similar to the situation of Tony Fernandes, for example, a player who can play in the B team and also with the first team. Internationally, he's a regular for Portugal's under-21 and previously also played for under-17 and under-19. Gonçalo is a player who did join Benfica's academy under-11 and climbed all the way to the first team conversation. And now today, he is seen as one of Portugal's next generation defensive leaders. It's kind of crazy to even talk about this, right? Because over the past year and a half, we have really been seeing a lot of Portuguese players rise into stardom, like Vitinha, Nuno Mendes. Of course, they have Ruben Dias, Bernardo Silva, João Neves, Gonçalo Ramos, and also Trincao. So Portugal are really going to make something happen in the World Cup of 2026. But I digress. Let's go back to the center back conversation. So he is a center back that is left-footed, a left-footed center back that can distribute the ball well, which is Barcelona's dream profile as of right now, especially ever since they lost Inigo Martinez. Inigo Martinez was that ideal profile that Barcelona needed. And the way that he does pass the ball and the angles that he does be looking for at the back, it is ideal for possession. It is ideal for build-up play. However, one of his weaknesses is his pace. I do think that he needs to get much faster, especially with Barcelona's high defensive line. You have to know how to track back and track back extremely quickly. However, his physicalness, his aggression, and also his jumping is really good. But as for the pace, I think that it does need some work. And here's where it gets very interesting. The coach of Benfica, it is Jose Mourinho, a coach that we know a lot about, right? We have faced him multiple times through different teams with Inter Milan and also with Real Madrid. So now he is coaching this center back, and he has talked about this center back multiple times. He said that this is a player who has huge character, huge potential, and he wants to make Gonçalo one of the best center backs in the world. So part of the reason why Barcelona want to bring in Gonçalo is because he does tactically fit within our system. When we lost Inigo Martinez, we now have no natural left-footed center back. With Flick's 3-4-3, 4-2-3-1 system, it does need build up and it does need a lot of passing lanes. With Gonçalo having that left foot, he can make those switches from the other side of the pitch. He can distribute those balls into the middle, and he can also carry the ball forward. So I do think that in the future, if Deco is right and his scouting department are picking the correct players, since he is so young and because he has so much more room to grow, if we do sign this player, most likely our future backline might contain Cubarsí on the right center back position with Gonçalo in the left center back position, and it creates that perfect balance. Now, it's not the tallest partnership, but it is what it is. Ideally, for me, in my own opinion and personally, I would just like to see Bastoni get bought, but I just don't know if this is going to fit within the realm of Barcelona's finances. So we have to work with whatever we do find, right? right? We have to work within that type of mindset of trying to look for gems. It also fits with the strategic planning that Deco does have with the club, right? To find young players, find affordable talents instead of overpaying for certain stars out there in the world of football. His current market value, it is 90K, which is like nothing. That is like 1 cent to Barcelona. And I think that this is a value that is way under his actual potential. So he could be a January signing. And if not, worst case scenario, he could be a summer 2026 and be ready for the 2026-2027 season. The fact that he's already trusted in the Portugal's under 21 matches and the fact that he's also so young, has the ideal age to adapt, to grow at a top club, it makes him a good candidate, and I would like to see him in this club. So now let's talk about the other center back, and that is Marc Guehi. Marc Guehi is a center back that we talked about before. He is 6 years older than Gonçalo. He's 25 years old, and he also does represent Crystal Palace and has a contract with Crystal Palace until 2026. So if Barcelona are interested in the center back here, they could get him for free. He's also an ex-Chelsea Academy player and joined Palace back in 2021 for 18 million euros. And here's the thing, this summer that we have just passed on, right, the summer of 2025, he was supposed to go to Liverpool, but for some reason between Liverpool and Crystal Palace, they could not come up with a good deal, and nothing came into fruition, and then Marc Guehi had to stay at the club, and he was a little disappointed. So it is quite clear that he does want to leave Crystal Palace, but now the question is, where is he going to go next? But when I look at this center back here, this is the reason why I would recommend him, is because he could be for free, right? There is always that possibility, unless he renews like last minute, but he could come in for free. We look at his experience, he's a key player for England, starred in the Euro of 2024, very much reliable at Crystal Palace as well, and so I do think that he is also a very decent candidate. 155 appearances for Palace, youngest PL captained the England national team under 17 World Cup. Once again, he was a key player in England's Euro 2024 final run, and he is a pure ball playing center back, perfect for FC Barcelona, with a 86.4% pass accuracy in the Premier League this season, 79 short passes, 78 long passes completed. He can also launch attacks from deep. He's in the 97th percentile for passes blocked and reads plays very well, and he's comfortable under pressure. In terms of his defensive attributes, he's high line ready, with his aerial duel rate being won by 65%, 13 duels won in total, so he is air dominant. In terms of the ground duels, 71.1% win rate. He has strong 1 versus 1 defending as well. I remember looking at his performance during the Euros. Every time he had the ball or he was getting ready to go on a 1v1 defensive duel against one of the attackers, he was always calm, always composed in high pressure games, and that is the type of mentality Barcelona crave in the Champions League nights, like what we saw against PSG. We need experienced players like him. And if Hansi Flick were to ever implement a 3-man backline for whatever reason, maybe he just upgrades his system and he says that in the next season we're going to go for a 3-5-2 or something crazy like that. I don't know. He's versatile. He can play in a back 3 and also in a back 4. So let me know in the comment sections down below, what center back would you rather choose for Barcelona, whether it is in January 2026 or in the summer of 2026, to reinforce our defensive line. Now, just because we're looking at multiple center backs today does not mean that we're not satisfied with the center backs that we have right now in our club. Araujo, Christensen, Cubarsí, Eric Garcia, they are all very good, but the closer we can get to the profile that we do need for our specific system, the better. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.